Alright, gang, we're in. I do believe so. OBS, can you go away, please? Thank you very much. Right then, hello everyone. This is the Stanley Parable, or rather, this is the options menu before I start playing the Stanley Parable because I have never played this game. I don't know what to expect. As far as I'm aware, it's a walking simulator and it's heavily narrated. So, watch me talk all over it and ruin it for everyone. Have you played the Stanley Parable before? What did I just say? What did I just say? Come on. Keep up with the stream. Are you watching or not? Honestly. No. But this is just silent until the computer is very visible. I like my brightness. Also, I want people to see as well. Also, it's darker on the caption than it is on my screen. So let's whack that up. Please enter the current time. You don't know the current time? You've played this and wow, it's such a unique game. It's going to be fun. Hey, well, what? It's 12:04. No, not AM. PM. PM. What? You don't do 24-hour clocks. You're doing it wrong. Oh, now it's 5
Hello
PM.
there.
Just this. Hello. Okay, it's 12 PM. There we go. If you wanted to know my time zone, now you know. Accessibility settings can be accessed from the main menu. Also, do you like my new Doom chair? It's good, isn't it? Fucking, this chair's amazing. I love this chair. Orange chair. Bot, hello. Loads of Fall in 2014. Good practice for Elden Ring. Oh, awesome stuff. Now you got to play the new one. The new rules of the fun. Because that's good. Begin the game. Oh my god, it's in the monitor! Okay. Ever the end is never the end is never the end is... I think I get the pound.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
That's Spanky. Nearly.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number...
Please tell me if the game is too quiet.
Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what
I will try.
buttons to push.
Is it actually quiet, or is it just because I said that?
In what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year.
What's that?
Others might have
I did boost it before I went live.
Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
It's happy, there we go. We can end.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would...
I'll increase it ever so slightly. Or I blow my eardrums out.
Never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour.
There we go. It's peeking into the red on my thing.
Single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Oh, action, let's go. So I'm led to believe that you're meant to do what the narrator says. But can we break the game? What have I got? Oh, I've got a crouch button. I've got 2 buttons that crouch. That's old grandfather incredible stories.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
What does it mean?
Decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
I have no feet. I also move like I'm gliding. It doesn't feel like I'm walking. It feels like I'm on wheels. Oh, I've got rollerblades on. That looks like the back rooms to Dead Rising. Interact with any of these doors? Oh, I have got an interact button. Okay.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors,
what do we do?
The door on his left.
Bread on a plate with 20 bits. Do a happy little dance. There we go. Thank you, bread on the plate. It's going well, thank you. I've decided to have a break from crabs. Oh, it said go to the left. Alright, guys. Because I haven't played this before. What's more fun? Without spoilers, what's more fun? Obeying it or denying what the narrator says? What's more fun? Should I go to the left or should I go to the right? There's too much pressure. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2. You choose. All right. A good adventure always goes left. We'll be a good boy for now. See what happens. It's gone white. Oh my god! It's like the windows in Dead Island 2.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
Tips were not getting.
I
was reading that.
Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Don't have a jump button. I want to jump on the tables. Alright, I'm not reading all that. These look too much like my whiteboards at work. Using slides to ensure employees everything is okay. Everyone is unique. You most of all. But not you. You are not unique. Any more fun? Number of slides on this slides. Charts. Charts and slides. Slides. Nice. I do like me a good bar chart. You're very welcome, Brad. I'm not crafty. It's a lobster. It totally counts. It's in the same genus. Besides, I've only got 4 fucking Pokemon.
Coming to a staircase,
Technically, none of them are crabs because all of them are fictional. So. Did he say upstairs? Oh, I'm going upstairs. Ooh, I feel like I've walked into a David Lynch film. Picture of frustration. Or mollusk. Or isopods.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him?
Is everybody dead, Dave? Sorry, Stanley.
The keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number. 2845.
2845.
But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
6969. No. Fine. 2845 then.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by
I must have had to look for some Red Dwarf.
He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
What passageway? It's too dark. What passageway? Ah, maybe that one there. That's the big open door, maybe. Oh, it's turning into Portal. Right, okay. So what is this? This is a video game. They're quite common. And I haven't played it, so I don't know. It's a walking simulator. It's loading as well.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question...
Lucky me. Well, we'll see how many endings I can get in 3 hours. I don't know how long this game is. I don't know anything about it.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
I don't want to do escape. No, you know what? I'm going to stick with what the narrator says. I've come this far. These narrators are nice. I know somebody has to be.
The lights rose.
Sure as shit ain't me.
Room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself.
I heard a high definition.
Did he have the strength to find out?
Right, I appear to have stepped into the end of the Matrix. Why aren't those screens as big as the other ones?
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number
Too much
of
maths.
an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place.
But there's none of my co-workers on those screens. It's just their desks. All my co-workers' desks. Am I a desk? Am I
This
sentient?
mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only
Am I under
reason
control
he was
now?
happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Let's just say yes.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His
I can't.
own life in
Yeah, what's on
someone
that monitor?
else's control? Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Maybe.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working.
Really? Because they say my control status offline.
Commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life.
Frosty, hello.
Would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Frosty, did Larry get his cucumber delivery? I was in suspense. Then I had to leave. My controls idle, awaiting input. Ooh. It's already off, isn't it? What's that say? I can't read it. On.
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you?
I wasn't
They
listening.
kept you enslaved all these years. You go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control?
Yes.
Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand.
Yay!
there's so much that
You got a happy
machine
ending
can do.
too.
You were supposed to let it go. Turn the controls off and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example,
Oh, so much for doing exactly what the narrator says.
Stanley suddenly realized he had just
Look, I see it on the switch. I want to hit it, right?
Deluxe emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are said to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say 2 minutes.
That's a bit extreme.
This is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better.
What happens if I just stand here and wait the time out?
We have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious
I believe so.
one of them is.
But I've never
Time
played
to
it before.
Talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start.
I'll wait the time out.
What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then
That's
dying
along to the music.
alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing
Okay, that's enough of that.
everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense
5 minutes of it.
everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better.
Will it though?
Goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock, why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees.
I'm meant to wait it out.
Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is
Oh,
it
my
that you
controller's
have no
vibrating.
idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button.
And standing
screen
still.
to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons. No, these colored ones.
Nope.
Or maybe this
Nope.
big red button. Or this
Maybe.
door.
I want to see what happens when it closes.
Something here
What-
will
When
say
the time runs out. I want to see what happens.
Stanley, that this video game
I'm gonna stare death in the face.
one soul
By death, I mean a countdown.
have any idea
I'm gonna stare
what
Carol
your
Vorderman in the
purpose
face.
is? Stanley, you're
Apparently so.
quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing
This counts as an ending.
cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you.
I keep going to say, oh, I'll have a pee, please, Bob, but that's blockbusters.
It's a tragedy.
I'll have I'll have a consonant.
This world, that's fine. But I'm going to
I never really watched Countdown. I never got into it. That was a bit too nerdy for me.
Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing.
Oh, it's getting intense.
Just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count.
I'm going to stand here peacefully.
It's all the same to me. All a part of the.
Is this technically an ending?
Believe me,
Have I beat the game?
laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say happily.
White. Now what happens? Did I beat the game? No achievement?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay. Well, does this play with like time loops and manipulations? Like I felt like I've done this before.
When Stanley came to a set of two open
No, he didn't.
doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Oh, look at the admiration.
A room worth
Cold drinks.
admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all.
I want a drink.
Just to
I'm
spend a
thirsty.
few moments here in this immaculate,
What we got?
beautifully
We've got
constructed room.
very low poly pictures of drinks.
Drinking it all in.
$1.25 in this economy. That's just annoying. Let's make it $1.
But
Who goes around 25 cents on that?
business,
Not
Stanley
me.
took the
Mostly because I'm
first
British.
open door on his left.
No, we didn't.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Okay, now this feels more like Paul. They look so jumpable. I don't have a jump button. Gaming instincts have ruined me.
Look,
I fall down.
Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
I can.
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley.
I've died twice.
One thinks you are very powerful.
It's worth doing for the narration. Back to square one.
His co-workers were
Oh,
gone.
my legs are being reattached.
Stanley
that?
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply
I want to
missed
see what
a
else is
memo.
that way. Apart from death. If I follow it to the letter,
Set of two open doors
how long does this
was
take to
not the
do?
correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
Can you blitz through this in like
Perhaps
20
he
minutes
could
if you know what
stop
you're
by the
doing?
employee lounge first,
It's
just
all
to
about
admire it.
replayability.
Wow. Yes, this room. What
That's
a
different.
beautiful room. What a gorgeous, gorgeous room.
That
Thank
looks
goodness
different.
Stanley had taken this detour on his way to the meeting room. Life without having experienced this room was now too horrible even to consider.
Okay.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
You know. No, we didn't.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired.
I won't fall to my death this time.
Look, Stanley,
Or
I
will
think
I?
perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
I don't have any feet.
Me, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting.
They're not my co-workers.
Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now,
Make
I'm
me.
not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
What,
This
Shelf
is,
and Paul?
Stanley, your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Who's she? Stop playing the pronoun game. The void.
That's her, Stanley. You need
My
to be the
God,
one
my wife's a telephone.
to reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Hold on, that's not how phones work. Phones don't have plugs like
Stanley
this.
picked up the phone. A white light
Oh, I can
engulfed
unplug it.
him, filling him not just with radiance, but with
It's not how phones work.
hope for a life reunited.
They have a different connection.
Wait,
Hang on.
goodness.
That's a British plug.
Just unplugged the phone? No, that
But
wasn't
they
supposed to
had
be
dollars
changed.
on the vending machine.
You actually chose incorrectly. I didn't even know that was possible.
What's going on?
Let me double check. No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another.
Thank you for the clip,
Music
Frosty.
comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you...
You make a meaningful choice, are you?
Did I just see...
Are you high in your own supply,
It's
Mr.
not
Narrator?
possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person.
I'm a real boy.
I can't believe I was so mistaken.
I've beaten Light of P.
This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world.
Okay, an educational video, everyone.
This helpful instructional video.
We got video.
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person. But if used incorrectly, can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Rupert has a choice.
I'm not called
He can invent
Rupert.
a machine that eliminates food shortages across the world to make life better for all people. Or he could spend years of hard work forgetting how to read. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here,
I don't really like the
world
idea of
makes
cricket
sense,
burgers.
And at no time should you
I'm gonna
make
take
a
the not
choice
reading option.
that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself
Ish.
speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness,
I don't have a partner.
4:30. I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack."
Cypher, I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack.
Excellent. Making choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8? Less? And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant.
I sing the
And
Galaxy
those
song by
feelings
Monty Python.
subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
Ah, welcome back. You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradictions. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
Well, apparently I've broken down the narrative, Frosty. The universe has started to cave in on itself. Danger! Danger everywhere! It's just like real life. Okay. I don't think I have much choice but to leave. I mean, if anyone was going to unmake the fabric of the universe, it was going to be me, let's face it. I was going to say something stupid. I ought to put safety rails around so I can't
Choices are meaningful.
fall down.
We can't have you jumping off the platform and dying. Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That story would make no sense at all.
Yes, I suppose
We
that would
just
be
need to get
stupid,
home
wouldn't
as soon
it?
as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
Yeah. Can I break the game anymore. Ooh, that's got a slidey card on it. Yeah. What's a calculator say? Oh, the calculator's boring. It didn't say boobies. Who uses a calculator incorrectly like that? Hey, that door on my left is closed as well.
Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world.
Can I go back to my office?
Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
No.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
I'm not gonna lie, guys. I'm quite enjoying this. This game's pretty good. Oh, do I have to go that way? I'll go again. What's going on with that shit? It's just like playing a Bethesda game. It's the same. It's so hard to tell. Okay. Awfully quiet.
Oh, it's ruined. I can't believe, after everything we talked about, that my story, you've destroyed my work. Why? For what? What did you get out of that?
A
What
good
did you
laugh.
think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage? It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever, reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do I... No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to. I have to.
Did I win? I've not got any trophies yet. Things look a little bit different.
Oh, I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You. Who thought you
This
were
is like
so
my
clever.
bedroom.
Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground.
I have a tendency to do that.
It'd be funny. You just had to see. Didn't I
Yeah.
impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to.
Thought
He
you said I was
understands
Rupert.
that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you? You're a child.
40, mate.
Oh, my story. If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have
already
been
done
so
that.
perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard to make... behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors,
You know what we're
he
doing.
entered the door on his
You know what
left.
we're doing. Nope.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back.
Yeah.
Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly.
I thought my
and
capture card
always
cut out.
putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
No. I like going right. Oh, is I going to say anything now?
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back.
Or is it just going to do the same thing until I do it?
Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly.
It's doing exactly the
and
same thing.
Always putting the story first. I'm quite sure.
But maybe third time's the charm?
Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right.
I'll do it one more time, then we'll all actually go to the left. Just to see if anything
doors,
changes.
He entered the door on his left.
No, it's just the same again.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back. Behave exactly.
Yeah, it's just doing the same thing now. All right.
That means choosing responsibly and always.
I thought if I continued to do it wrong,
I'm quite sure
it
you'll
would
be up
break
to
it
the
more.
task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door.
Is there another way? That's his 4th time lucky. You're right, it could be 4th time lucky. Or 20th.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back.
I was trying to see if I could run back in the right direction. It said do it quickly. I wondered if I did it quickly enough it would work.
Putting the story first.
But no.
I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task.
Fine, we'll go left.
You'll be fine. All right.
I'm not happy about it, but we'll do it.
Into a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Fine, you happy? And we break the next thing.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling
Do unbelievably amazing work with all time, every day, with no expectation of promotion or recognition. Don't get fired.
Find an answer there.
Good advice. I want to go in the broom closet.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Hey, can I go down before? I mean, I didn't go down before, but could I have done? Pretty sure I could have done. That changed as well.
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley
Oh,
was
it's
once again
different.
stunned to discover
It's
no
green.
indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief.
Sorry, is that a panda bear with a gun to his head?
Until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability,
I am the most
he knew
expensive
passcode.
boss.
He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Night Shark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code.
Do I have to? Please get into the receiver.
Stanley spoke the code. Night Shark 115. He spoke it into the receiver, right there on the wall.
Night Shark 115.
I'm sorry, is there a problem? You didn't mishear me, did you? Please speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise, we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step.
I don't have a voice.
Okay, fine. You're not going to do it. But you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this one single thing.
I live for pissing off the narrator.
The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward. You... When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
No, we didn't.
Stanley? Hello? Are you... Is everything okay?
Well, that's what I look like.
Stanley, please. I need you to make a choice.
I look like Max
You
Payne.
walk through the door. Are you listening to me?
Was that actually the end?
Stanley? Is everything all right? Stanley,
story needs you. It needs you to make a decision. It cannot exist without you. Do you understand me? Whatever choice you make is just fine. They're both correct. You cannot be wrong here. We can work together. I'll accept whatever you do. I simply need you to take that step forward, please. Choose. Do something. Anything. This is more important than you can ever know.
This game a lot shorter than I thought it would be.
The story needs it. So, you hear me?
My choice to play this was because it came onto PlayStation Plus for free.
Okay. It's okay.
It's a coffee. Showing support for you from the small screen disco, but I gotta work and work. Hey, coffee. I hope you're doing grand.
Choice is correct. That is the best choice.
I know there's a shit ton of endings. Right, I guess we're gonna do what he wants me to do now. Less is more. Oh no, it stopped.
Take as much time as you need.
Ooh. 7 out of 10. Excellent. Bump it up another 3, and we're all good. I'm sure you can do that. Ooh. Why is my desk office isolated compared to most
All
other
of his
people's?
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Alright,
matter
let's write the
how
computer.
hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
What happened to employee 432? They don't have a computer. They've got a pencil sharpener and a lamp. What work did they do?
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
What's that say? I like work. I just hate my boss. Okay. That's not the most exciting cup in the world. Be my Valentine. You don't have to, Jack. Ooh, hang on. Do I get something for turning off all the computers? Input received. Ooh. Am I breaking the game more? 420. I can't get in the 420 room. Damn it. If only it was April.
When
Oh, we're back here again.
to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
What happens if I keep breaking it? We've got A ending. Will it just repeat itself? We need to know.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
I feel like I had an
He
ending.
wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Am I going to repeat gameplay? I don't want to do that.
The lounge was sublime, a work of art. What was it about this room that called so deeply and so personally to Stanley? Its grace, its subtle charm.
It is new dialogue.
No. Stanley knew it was something deeper, something darker.
Hey, I set the time. That's no longer the right time. The time has changed.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room.
Does that say
A
something?
room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at
We'll
these
repeat with
chairs and
changes,
some
okay.
paintings. Really worth it.
Well, I've committed now.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his
Oh, I didn't go
left.
this way. Go on then.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
It's a big glowy button. Oh, I want the big glowy button. Beep beep. Sorry, narrator. I'm not doing a very good job of following your instruction.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here.
That's what I do.
It's, left. Oh, no. No, it's to the right. My mistake.
I'll go left now. Oh.
No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
That looks ominous.
Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep. Okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Hold on, can I escape in the van? Oh god. I've forgotten how lids work. That's so good. The lights are on. That suggests someone's been driving it, or at least turning the ignition. Oh, we're here again.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just.
What am I? It's not Stanley. Why am I doing it?
Who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
Oh, we're back here again. Why is the time still wrong?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I played with computers again. I like playing with computers. Hang on a minute. Oh, is that a different office entirely? I thought I was looking at a mirror then and wondering why that door was open. Maybe it is. Boop. Wasn't there another computer last time? There's one that says input received. Okay, we're back here again.
When Stanley... Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be...
Okay, I wasn't expecting that.
Or did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere?
I did.
Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Okay. That's a lot of choices. I'll go in the first one. Or do they all lead to the same place? Story! Here, boy. Come on. Oh, I found the back rooms. Found the liminal space. I knew it was here somewhere.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
I have not played Superliminal. I know what that is, though. That's the one where it plays with perspective. I'm not sure if I'd like that game. I'm not sure if it might make you feel a bit weird.
What could it mean?
And make me feel like a dumbass. I've seen other people play it. Although not all the way through. If I keep playing on the monitors, will something different happen every time?
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
There's a lot of doors I've not been through. Telephone? No.
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes. No, wait, never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
These bananas. I love it.
Now this... Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so.
I think we've made it to
I can't
Ravenholm.
quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley?
Oh, there's
Well,
planks
you
up
know
there.
what? Since I've completely forgotten what we
Something
were
tells me the
supposed to be
secret's up
doing,
there.
how about this? You win! Congratulations!
Go on!
I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job. Oh, no, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win.
Beg your
Some
pardon?
people win fair and sigure, and this was not one of those.
You know how hard
situations.
streaming is?
Okay.
Putting a lot of
I'm
work.
getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
I like my attic room.
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
That's fucking brilliant. This is now my favourite walking simulator game. This is fantastic. Is it on the line? What ride? Line ride. A real life simulator with a long line. Shall we follow it? I'll play with the monitors. I get a feeling something keeps happening if I keep playing with all the monitors. And it seems to be working. Another one. Oh, someone's playing Balatro. Go fish! I don't have to play cards. Okay, well so far there's no real ways to deviate from the line.
You see? The line knows where the story
Yeah.
is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me. Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence, right? Okay. Now, if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office, in fact, the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Make it copyright free, please. That's certainly a musical choice. Alright, you can give it a rest now. If I followed the line, it would shut up. Pretty sure the line didn't have to go around this way. Well, we're getting closer to room 1. These rooms make no logical sense. Stanley, I don't think we're in Kansas anymore. You can't jump. Seriously. Got my first trophy. Yay! Is that because I keep pressing X?
Cut the music.
Oh,
Go
fuck.
back and look at that fern.
Why?
Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
Okay. Verb memorized. I want that in the same font as like victory achieved.
We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
It's got in multiple directions, my dude. Oh dear. We've broken the line. We have one job.
Oh, no, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
I'm waiting for that loading text to change as well. Alright. Beep.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting,
One of us is intelligent.
daring, mysterious.
Hint, it's not me.
This all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
A new door. Such excitement.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be?
I don't think this corridor makes sense.
Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
I feel like
Oh,
I've...
no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
It's kind of hard not to acknowledge it when it's right in my face. I feel like I've stumbled into some kind of Lovecraftian construct where the walls make no sense.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know
Go the opposite way.
Door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds
I'm a rebel without a cause.
to the counter-inverted
They should make a
reverse
film called
door's
that.
origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And
Well, the right door might be
answer
right.
is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
Oh, let me in. Oh, I have no choice. The confusion ending.
Oh, hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me
This one.
that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all
For a long time
determined?
Stanley dies, that sucks.
So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep
Just take it all in, Joey.
restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped. Does
It's
that
gone back
mean,
up.
Did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The Whatever it is that made this schedule, how would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay.
As confused as I am.
I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story, wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you...
Yeah. A fax went off in my ears. Oh, the line's gone. I like the line. Bring back the line.
I can't
Where's
wait to
my
tell
friend?
this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll find it. Oh, won't we all just laugh and laugh at the time I thought everyone had gone missing?
Hey, was that monitor on before? Oh, new monitors have appeared. They've changed again. Okay, now what happens? Door's already open.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
No, we didn't.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first time understood true happiness. Then the feeling went away, and he felt sad again. Then it came back, and lingered for a minute or two. Now it's only... But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
What if I don't? Oh, choices. Really wants me to go that way, but I want that. Yeah. Let's begin like it's beginning the game
Stanley
again.
was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
I've done the wrong thing. I just don't know.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's
Can I
someone
make that
you've
if I
been
jump there?
neglecting, Stanley. Someone... Really?
Oh, I found a new way to break it.
Something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your
variables, the game.
side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
God of you to assume I'm not colorblind. I'm not.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door. All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see, there's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map, because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was
Yes.
it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that?
Guys,
I
play this
did.
game. It's great.
And in the end, it was all for nothing, because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've
I would
given
like
me
it to be Doom,
absolutely
please.
Nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
I'll go for the right door again. Nah, I gotta check it out. I mean, it's orange. Oh, that's orange.
I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
You know, I'm quite enjoying the game, so I'm going to give you a 5.
Aha! You see, I knew I was onto something. Where do these flashes of inspiration come from? How did I know the game needed a third door? Well, it's instinct mostly, a calling in your gut. I really couldn't say where the idea came
I'm
from.
not saying anything about my gut.
I felt it in my soul.
I said the
You
better.
can't teach that, Stanley. Don't even try. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Boop. Stanley Parable worldwide leaderboard. Oh, God. No. If we continue on like this, we'll get microtransactions. Pay to win mechanics. Good old Neely's online skid. Niche. Slow down. That's a lot of people. On bottom, a dead rat is offline. Oh dear. How does it take you to get to the correct door? Compete against others to improve the Stanley Parable career. I'm still technically on the leaderboard, guys. I may be last, but still. Alright, go through this way again.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please.
I'm not competitive, so no.
Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on. And
Is it
now
Doom?
would be a lovely opportunity to give it some play testing. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up.
Now what?
In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience. You heartless bastard. Because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. Be out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me.
I have never been called a heartless person by a game before.
I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here?
Oh my god.
Yes.
The funniest thing I've ever played.
It'll work. Let's give it a shot. Aha! Fascinating.
Hey, this is
What
Firewatch.
is about, Stanley? What's our backstory? What is our motivation?
I've played this game.
Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower, perhaps for some sort of twisted erotic purpose.
That's not the plot of Firewatch.
Yes, that must be it. What a fascinating venture into the experience of total mental depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there.
I use my previous knowledge of Firewatch to help me in this. Space Puffs. The spaciest of puffs. Oh god, it's exactly the same. Yeah, this is straight off Firewatch. Well, I wasn't expecting this either. This is certainly throwing places. Good, good.
Oh no. No, it can't be.
There should be a bouncy ball around here somewhere.
It is. It's an open world game. Good God, quickly block it off. Oh, thank goodness, Stanley.
Oh good, we don't want another Ubisoft game.
You nearly wandered off into that thing, that big open, just wandering around, no right or wrong directions, no path to follow. You can just go in any... Oh, thank heavens we avoided it. We're out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay.
I'd say I'm actually in the woods.
Out of here. Let's find another game. Preferably something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls.
Something there I can interact with?
I think this will be just the thing.
Is he like... This is Rocket League.
See, this is exactly what I had in mind. Just a nice big box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design.
I haven't played Rocket
If
League.
to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed.
Can I get lost?
Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's see. There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley.
Go sports ball.
Sports ball. Oh, what fun. We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together. Yes, I think surely we must. Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun.
There's a ball. Perhaps you'd like to bounce it. Oh, this game's too sporty for my liking. Oh, I'm going a lot faster.
Are you doing it? Are you winning? Is this fun? Is it better than my miserable little story that I worked so hard on?
I'll get lost over here.
Stanley, I have a thought. And I realize I'm not a sportsologist, but if one ball generates a certain amount of raw adrenal pleasure, then surely multiple balls makes for an even more euphoric sports experience. I'm going to try it out. Here comes another ball. Yes! Oh goodness, that really does feel amazing, doesn't it? Stanley, I'm like a child in a confectionery shop. I simply have to have more. I'm insatiable. More balls! Hold on, what are you doing?
Oh, I found a way to escape. Whoop.
Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley.
Has anyone seen The Cabin in the Woods? Because I'm getting a lot of vibes of that from here. If you haven't seen Cabin in the Woods, go watch it. It's great. Whoop. I found more void. I survived that. Or just because I took one jump off a little lift. Yeah, things really got out of hand quickly. I do like every time I press the X button, it makes a noise like I'm tapping the keyboard. Ooh, can I go in there? No. I haven't found any use for the crouch button yet. Gotta use it for something, surely. Like I walked into Black Mesa. Do anything? No, I don't seem to be able to interact with anything. I'm gonna get something's changed on my way back. We restarted the game again.
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
If it resets it again, are we still on track for the confusion ending? Or is that actually the end? Ooh, we're back again.
A soft wind blew outside and perhaps rain started, and if it did, it stopped shortly after. Stanley hoped that he would one day see weather.
Okay, different narration. Eat.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open
Oh,
doors.
now
He
what do I
entered
do?
the door on his left.
I should probably follow his instructions. What? What if I don't? Will it repeat itself? Let's follow the instructions this time.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's. Coming
I
to
can
a
go down now.
staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to
Oh,
his
I've not been
boss's
down yet.
office.
Alright, never mind. He made it forward of 2 seconds.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down?
Yeah, I pointed that
Why
out.
did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the
Wake
cool
up,
weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh
I don't
air
have a
of the
mattress, do I?
world outside this one.
Oh, a pillow.
Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over.
Pillow help.
Let me go back to my job. Let me continue.
Of course, I
pushing
got a Mario
the
Brothers pillow.
buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my
Always have a
apartment
Mario Brothers pillow
and
to
my
hand.
wife.
You never know, it's
and
going to come
my
in handy.
job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
I'm a bit tired, actually. Okay. Well, it's hard to get a word in edgeways with this
Stanley
guy.
began screaming. Please, Someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Is that a reset again?
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Okay.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And
They've all
although
been
she
there.
would soon turned to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
I love a happy ending. It's not the ending though, is it? And I'm back here again. And it's still 20 past 11.
All of his co-workers were... Wait, no. This isn't the right office, is it? Is this Stanley's office?
Yes. Am I Mariella now? This game goes places. Is everyone enjoying the Stanley Parable? It's pretty good. New content. Ooh, I do like new content.
New content? What does that mean, new content?
Oh, is this part of the Deluxe edition? That's the version I have. Is this all added in? I'm guessing this isn't in the base game?
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
I think that's just confirmed it.
As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers.
Well, it's 12 years old.
After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
I come up.
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
Am I better be?
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it. I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
Not very often you get to say the phrase, give me the content, Stanley, but here we are.
All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
Oh, I have a jump button. Finally, I've unlocked jump. It's one of the least aggressive tutorials I've had to sit through. Oh, I can no longer jump. Oh. Aww.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right? Goodness. Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could counter 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And if... Oh, wait. There's more.
I haven't got long enough to play 1,000 hours of Stanley Parable.
I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for
Does it
whatever
work?
it is. That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's trophies, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test trophy, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated.
Is
and
that
I'm offended.
actually one that says
I
that?
intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable.
It's not Twitter
It's
anymore.
my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations.
I've got to check.
If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great
Test
time
trophy
together
description.
like
Please
always.
replace this.
What do you say, friend?
I can do 430 times. Complete Stanley Parable in 4 minutes 22 seconds. Set all the settings slides in the menu to all available numbers. Don't play the Stanley Parable for 10 years. It's the one that says test trophy, please. Don't know what that means. Quit the game, then start it again. Okay. Test trophy, please. Yeah, there is actually a trophy that says test trophy, please ignore. Well, I'm not going to get all the trophies in this. Should I try and open a door 420 times? Or is that just insane?
Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
Do you want to see something? I'm guessing this is still all extra content, right? It's not just that. Okay, we found the Metal Gear Solid part of the game.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look. I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can
Stores and
relive
corridors,
the
isn't
peak
it?
experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC. You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable
screenshot of
was
Steam.
before it was sullied with a cheap PlayStation port? Remember back
Hey, I'm
in
playing this on
October
PlayStation.
2013, when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
So let's say to Stanley Powell. British Academy of Film and Television Awards awarded to The Last of Us. It's excellent. Bion pressurized gas. What? First Kiss, my first card. The release of Stanley Parable in 2013. I've always said 2012 initially. It's great. Smile because it happened. A trip down memory lane. $1. Is that the first dollar they made from this? I can't begin demo. Oh, I want to play the Stanley Parable. Oh, sorry, don't play for 5 years. It's impossible to get this achievement. I'll believe you on that one. Only British Academy Award, a Stanley Parable for Game Intervention. Are these the real ones it weren't? New game. Story. New video game releasing today. This is surprisingly down to earth. Colleagues show an even effort to enroll the poor. What goes from scandal to new crisis. Business leading pushing election of council allies. See? And it's hot and sunny. Los Angeles Times. Stanley Parable deals tough choices. You don't say. Oh, and I'm dead. That's not the happiest memory.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote,
Hey, just Sterling.
"Where so many games that aspire to be more
Thank
than
God for her.
games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that,
They
Stanley?
don't sound like that.
Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
Okay then. I love this. This is great. What else we got around here? Portal. Minecraft. It's nostalgic. Person of the Year. Ah, there's the mirrors from Dead Island. Yep. Number is 29. Okay, we'll remember that.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. All they had to do was transport it in pristine condition along to the PlayStation. Boom, done. And they couldn't even do that. Couldn't resist
mention of
the urge
Xbox,
to
I've
go
noticed.
meddling with a beloved franchise.
Marvellous. Ooh, red on the blue door. Boxes. Is that it? It's on the plimps. You got it on Switch. Oh, did I not mention Switch? Hey, if you get to this on the Switch, does it just mention Switch and not PlayStation? Are they version exclusive? Did they re-record the lines for each one? Because it'd be weird them advertising the
These
competition,
were
wouldn't
simpler
it?
times, Stanley. What I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here? Oh no, oh God, no, Stanley. It's a collection of reviews from Pressurized Gas, the extremely popular online storefront for computer games.
Never heard of
I
it.
haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here.
Did they give it
Surely
bad
these
reviews?
were glowing as well, weren't they? Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I can write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
This stream is just mostly like 99% of me just laughing at the game. I don't have to say shit.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. I always, well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did, but maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
I think James Stephanie Sterling. They should have a new video out today. It's Monday. Ooh, another review. What's this one say?
What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
And that's it there, is it? What's behind it? A ladder. That's not very exciting. Press the skip button then.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people. And if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here, we'll pretend that I've just begun an interminable monologue, and it goes something like this. The story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once, so now you see, blah 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet, no, until 245. That the logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years, until just yesterday, here and there, forward and back, and never a moment before lunchtime. It can't be. It's the only thing there is.
Remind me an awful lot of Douglas Adams.
So much more than forever ago, which is why I say... the story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once, so now you see, blah 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 blah,
repeating, isn't it?
Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise. Or maybe a manifesto. Look, I'll outline it for you very briefly, and you can tell me what you think. Okay, so my theory is that...
Skip it in, he's going to keep going anyway.
...is simply a series of...
Yeah.
Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over.
If I keep doing it, will it wind up?
Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes.
What about now?
Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the
What's the
skips
clock
are
on the
getting
wall
longer,
say?
but they're really truly
20 to
getting
3.
longer, and my God. Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh,
It has changed.
please, I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time, just... Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time, I stopped keeping track after a year.
Has he gone away? Looks like I don't have much choice. It's like I'm pushing it again. Okay, I do like pressing buttons. Where's the batteries and that clock's still going? Oh. No, I jinxed that, didn't I? Beep. Let's beep beep. This has certainly gone places. I couldn't do around this.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a
He's still
point.
pissed
It was
off.
meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First,
This is how to end a YouTube
Now
career,
he
this
went,
is.
Shut up! It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability, it's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart the words that they are speaking into the world. As though there were no consequences for a lack of cohesion in one's assessment of others. But of course, absolutely anyone can leave a review. So here's what we get. We get these demands that seek everything and are accountable to nothing. We get a world where someone will say, oh, there should be a skip button. You should be able to freeze Stanley in place while the narrator sits there forever and ever. We want all of this in the new Stanley Parable. We demand it. And then, because it was said, because it was spoken, now it simply has to happen. The most immediate desires, every single thing demanded by every person at every moment in time. If someone wants it, then it's a crime not to bring it into being. Have we been given to indulging every fleeting whim for no reason other than to do so? Yes! Yes! It seems that this is now the world we live in. It seems that we are a people living in such bleakness and discomfort with ourselves that our entertainment is now our lives. It has come to represent us. It absolutely must speak to who we are as people, because otherwise, without our entertainment, we have nothing. Without entertainment, we would have to face inward towards cruel bleakness inside ourselves. We would turn to look at our deep
British,
nature
we love a good moan.
and find a resounding emptiness gazing back with unyielding aggression. And so because of this, we require that our amusements and our playthings and our flights of fancy be so impossibly captivating that they consume all of our attention, turn our heads completely away from the bleakness. In effect, we have demanded that our entertainment be the collapse of ourselves. What a pitiful reflection of humanity these entertainments are. What a shameful mirror to the human spirit they project. I'm not mad. I'm not mad about any of this. I'm at peace with it. I am the calm center of gravity around which these perversions hurl themselves. I am a waypoint for reasonable and collected discourse. They're the ones who are mad. They're the ones who couldn't stand the idea of me using my game to try to say something. Maybe they were just jealous of me. Yes, of course. They've been jealous of me this whole time. They are mired in fear and insecurity and cannot help but attempt to tear me down. What a sad state of affairs. When you read these reviews now, you can see it. You can taste the bitter
Am I out of touch?
And how
No,
good does
it's
it
the
feel
children
now
who are
to
wrong.
speak truth to these words, to finally allow these thoughts out, contained and managed for so long, neutered and sterilized. At last I am free to truly think, to feel. It must be that they were so discontent with themselves.
I want to skip at the same
they
time while
couldn't
listen to
help
it.
But leave a negative review on pressurized gas. Perhaps it
It's
says far more
just
about
clicked.
them
It's called
than
pressurized
it
gas
said
because
about
it's
me.
Steam.
Perhaps the state of their psychological
just
being
click
is in
that.
such tatters, and my constitution and willpower are so ironclad in comparison. Perhaps it was this state that they sought some outlet through which to
How can I
tear me
can-
down.
Hold on, that
This
could
supersede
quote this
clearly
GameSpot
arises from
and
the need
Destructoid,
to
but
expect
not
that the
Steam.
game be funny, that it be filled with
I literally had
yips and
screenshots of it.
whimsical humor, that it but they didn't understand the game was never.
Alright. He's repeating himself. We're stuck here forever. He's gone again. Has the clock stopped now? Has the clock stopped? If I go back in, is he still going to be rambling and moaning? That'll be funny. And the clock has stopped. Okay. Skip.
The end is never the end, 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 is never the end.
That's what the loading screen says. I'm still waiting for this fern to become important, like you said earlier. Have I skipped to the apocalypse? That don't look good. It's daylight. Can I leave now? Not yet. I'll give the game this. It's certainly not predictable. I don't know where the hell it's going. This is like it's leading into the start of Portal 2. I've been gone for some time. Where did the plank knife go? It's concerning. I'm amazed this button still works, to be honest. Let's go away from the spooky music. Oh no, it's broken it. Ooh. Sweet relief. Sweet exit. I think we may have entered the apocalypse. We appear to have gone into Mad Max territory. Head towards the sun. That's probably got something. Where can the game really go from here? Feels like we're reaching some kind of conclusion. I'm expecting the game to reset. Like that. Yep. And I'm back here again. Was that all the Deluxe
I can't wait to
contest?
tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll find it. Oh, won't we all just laugh and laugh at the time I thought everyone had gone missing.
Was that all the Deluxe content? Don't know. I don't know what's in the base game, what ain't. Oh, it's a bit of a mess here. Who farted? Good question. Not me. New content. The new content.
Oh, good. You notice my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Does it involve putting more babies into fires? Is he not going to give me a skip button this time?
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
Electric Boogaloo. I haven't finished the first one yet, technically.
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly port with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
Yes, for a skip button, that didn't go well.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now
Well,
that's
TSP,
an
better
artistic
TSP.
statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
Oh, is that important fern?
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really. Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
A button that says the name of the player that is playing the game? I do want that. That's new. Nice. Please no screenshots. Can't tell me what to do. The baby's all grown up. Oh, God. Jump Circle Infinity Hole. I think I've seen that film. Merch? If you scan that, will something happen? Will that take you somewhere? Sort of new content. Back. The end is never the end again. Can't read that. This t-shirt is the best new feature. I want the button that says the name of the player that he's playing the game. Stairs as well.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want?
Too big, too
And of
small,
course,
just right.
the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
Will it though? Jim.
Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role play as
Yes,
Jim.
my name's
to
Jim
really
then.
simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I
I
promise.
can't
you'll
say
love
say
it.
Stanley.
Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want
My
you
name
to
is
imagine
Earthworm Jim,
yourself living
and this
as
is my
Jim,
story.
sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and
Sleeping,
being
eh?
heartbroken as Jim.
I can sleep
seizing
if you want.
all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim, watching your dreams crumble into dust. Do you feel it deeply?
Be weird, wouldn't it?
Are you really, truly Jim right now? If so, then please step forward.
I think
and press
deep down
the
we're all Jim. I wonder if it's Jim because it's James Stephanie Sterling. Jim Sterling. That's why it's Jim.
Yes, you see? What a thrill, what a rush. That was you. The button described you. Do it again, do it again. Jim. Ooh, it hits even harder the second time. If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it
Nice to
would
Jimmy this
still
in.
be worth the money. Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation. Whoa there, cowboy. Sometimes a person can be too much Jim. I'm putting the Jim button away. Otherwise, soon you'll start to lose all sense of who
No.
you actually are.
Oh, I'm just squeezing one more Jim. Well, I suppose I can say I've hit the gym today. Jime? What's a jime? Oh, a jime.
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable too. That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature.
Infinity Hole, it won't end. Free, new and easy trophy. Oh, a trophy! Give me the trophy. Free trophy. I want trophy. It's gonna give me the trophy that says it's impossible to get. Free trophy! Get yours right now. Pull deliver, receive your new trophy. No more steps. It just works. Thanks, Todd.
Now here's something special. You remember that broken test trophy that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the trophy. Yes, you see...
Give me the trophy.
Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the trophy is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
I'm gonna have to look up to see how you actually get these trophies. I'll keep trying. Give me my trophy! Oh. A way to get it. Oh. Bad times. Go on, give me the trophy anyway for trying. It's over here. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Perfect. That's what I always wanted.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
I haven't seen the infinite hole. There's the exit. Go on, let's see the infinite hole. Time like infinity, hole like infinity, distant future, distant space time, space like infinity, distant past, distant space time, time deeper. Makes sense. Opening rim. Let's just leave it at rim. Just keeps going, does it now? We're not hole chart. More hole. Question mark. Stage 1, make hole. Stage 2, stage 3, profit.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is in fact a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium. You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
I'll leave it for a second now.
Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top.
Is it not infinite?
The sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
No.
Okay, Stanley, I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem.
Just the two of us. We can make it if we try.
Just the two of us. Said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite? If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready.
Oh, fine.
Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel.
Nothing that way. Could I have said this like after I beat the main game? Because according to the trophy list, I haven't done that. Keep going down. Could I keep going down? I feel like I hit the bottom. Again.
Okay, I'll be
Right.
honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version,
I'll do it again
the
after
office
this.
could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
Get well someday.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Happy 12th birthday, step-niece it is.
If only I had a step-niece. Is that it?
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision, we're moving on.
That is a very niche balloon. Alright, fine, we'll do the hole again. Let's see how much further I can sink. Which, frankly, isn't much further. Given the content on this channel. Aye, more hole it is. Whee.
Oh, for heaven... You see, I was right. The problem is you. The problem is that you like holes too much. Not normal. A normal person would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there, goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no. You have a weird sort of...
Yeah, it's a lot shorter.
Did the hole seem even shorter to you this time? I couldn't help but feel like you spent a little less time in there than you did before. I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole, but I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above.
Again.
Had enough? I'm positively thrilled. Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where... Wow. Okay. Yes. I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite. I suspect that I'm
But it's
starting
not
to
going
get
up.
to the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability and marketing. What's going on here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter. Well, there it is. The shame of my lie has come to haunt me. Not only is the... How is this still appealing?
Flock, thank you for the follow, I appreciate that.
Holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch.
I hope you're doing well.
Oh, who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on.
I'll have to, since you took away my germs.
Hmm.
Oh, not working.
Is the, teleport button not working? You sure? Well,
Sure.
I mean, I really don't have an explanation. It was working just a moment ago. Try it again. Still nothing?
Nope.
Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this. I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley. You couldn't bear to be away from the hole, and now you'll get more time with it than you could ever have asked for. It's a win for everyone. You get to be with the hole, I get to do literally anything else. Take care, Stanley. I hope you and the hole have a wonderful rest of eternity together.
Joke's on you. I've got my mug. I've got my cigarette butt ends. I've got my pieces of paper. We can live a good life here. Is that a good sound? I see. Well then. It's becoming more infinite. It's time to get down. Deeper and down. Get down. Deeper and down. Down, down. Deeper and down. My mug's disappeared. Oh, sorry, my paper has disappeared. No, it hasn't. What? Okay, the lighting's changed. Changed my perspective. Okay. Such camera work! Such nose! Oh man, this sequel's got everything! Fucking face, man. It really does look like it's been lit from Max Payne, doesn't it? Changed my perception. No, I don't want it so much. Have you got any Slayer? Change my reality. No, that's worse. What is it? Oh, legend! Thank you for lurking. It's a deep hole. You've never seen a deep hole like that in holes. No, no. That film with oh, Shia LaBeouf. That was a hole. If you're not. Okay. Change myself. Puppies! Alright, we're staying here. We found the puppy dimension. Only better with music. So much stuff. I've got to say, for first playthrough of Stanley Parable, I didn't know what to expect, but it wasn't this. Right, what's changed myself do then? I become a robot. I become upside down. I become a character in a Garfield cartoon. I am Stretch Armstrong. Yes. Also yes. Also yes. Want more cartoons? Versus Sloan, thank you for the follow, I appreciate that. Oh, is that my options? Which one do we like the most?
Stanley.
Oh,
Oh, good, you're awake. It seems you had sort of dozed off there.
I was enjoying that.
Into dreamland. But we can't have that, Stanley. Because this hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it. You don't want to miss a single moment. So how about if I just pop in from time
always
to time
puppies for the
and
win.
wake you up to keep
We like
you
dogs on
really
this channel.
truly focused on the hole.
I'm very much a dog person.
From the looks of things, you and I will have many, many years here in this hole. And I'm looking forward to all of them. Stay alert, Stanley. I'll be back. Toodle-pip.
Oh, don't stay here even longer. Oh, we restarted again. Back in my office? No, I'm not back in my office.
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
Ooh. Button that says G. Oh, it's changed it. Ooh, okay. A reassurance bucket. That sounds fun. That's the balloons. Go on then, what's the reassurance bucket then?
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair.
There's no bucket.
in those who played it.
That's not very reassuring.
I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley,
At long
every time
last.
you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal.
It's like the companion cube.
Even comforting.
I'm in bucket flavour.
You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for
Give me the bucket.
than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try.
I'm gonna have a go on the bucket, guys. I can't pick it up. Okay.
Can you feel it? The glow of
Can you
comfort, even
feel
in
the
face
bucket
of crushing
tonight?
despair must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person.
Well, it's about time. I'm going to put it on my Tinder profile.
On and on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Taking the bucket. You can't stop me.
Does anyone
Can we have a
give
button that
award
says
for
bucket?
Most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
Collectibles. Okay. Hey, it's a trophy work now. It didn't work last time. But this is a new updated version. We have bucket now. Surely bucket will help. Bucket is our friend. Try again. You're not going to give me the trophy. Will you give it to bucket? Ah. Well, we tried. And we failed miserably. The lesson is bucket. Okie dokie then. Well, what's up here? That's new. Can you find them? Can I find them? Don't know.
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
That says a 6. Collect them all. I want them all. Can I go back? No.
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
Fair enough. No, what's more tragic is when you follow a guide, get to the end of the game, and you've got 99 out of 100. That's the jump circle. We've not done the jump circle yet. Hang on. Jump circle. This map. Free trophy. The button that says name. Yeah, done that. It's decorations. We've done the infinite hole. Where's the jump circle? We've done a jump circle, yes, but what about second jump circle? Is it in here? No, that's the epilogue.
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, yes, it
Sure
would go
would.
at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
Is the button still here? Is he still taking it away? I want to press the gym button. Oh, that's gone. Sad times. Sorry, Bucket, no gym for you. It's more tragic when you get literal shit as a reward. Oh, you mean like in Breath of the Wild? I never finished that quest because bollocks to that. Where's the jump button? Is it not here because I've already done it? Or am I just being blind? In that way. Towards the exit. That one. Where is the exit? That way. I don't believe you in your jump circle.
All right, have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now?
Yeah, I'm good. These graphics kind of remind me of the game Mirror's Edge, which I never got into. It's all the bold red and white colour schemes.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment.
Look, don't put a
I'll
battle
arrange
pass in
these
it and
new
we'll be
features
fine.
Together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay, are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2.
I should really finish the first game first.
Well, I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on, let me do a different
Oh, it's a
arrangement.
collectible down there.
Okay, yes.
I want the collectible.
Yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2.
Fucking trumpet
Who
sound.
am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a
Comedy
sequel
normally is
that
what it
would
adds up to.
capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original.
And legs.
Maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity
It's
of
going to
the
be garish
original
and
game.
horrible, isn't it?
Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title
It's
screen
going to be the
that
most
says with
minimalist thing
bold
ever.
and uncompromising conviction, this is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me
Let
see
you
if I
Google
can
it.
whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead.
Do I get to keep my
Read the
bucket?
book.
Yep, minimalist. Hang on. There was a setting to say put everything up to max. No? Let's reset it then. That's why one of the trophies said to put it up to the max. 72, right? Yeah. Just check and see if there was not the button that I didn't know about. Begin the game, I guess. 2.25 hours in.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Do I want to skip?
Stanley worked for a company in a big
No, I
building
don't.
where he was
Hey,
employee number
the balloons are here.
427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget.
Is that the same font as Resident
He
Evil?
had been at his desk
The
for nearly
remakes.
an hour when he realized that not
Certainly sounds colour scheme.
one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Alright, here's what I'm going to do this
All
time.
his co-workers were gone. What
I'm
could
going
it
to do
be?
exactly what he
Stanley
says.
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
The bucket's here.
Stanley picked up the bucket.
Chris Greymore. Hello, Chris Greymore. How the devil are you? It's going really well, thank you. I'm really enjoying this game. You know, I've never played it before. It's going really well.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on
I
his
like how
back.
it's How the dialogue's changed. Well, I'm going to play by the rules this time. I think I've broken it enough. The last couple of hours.
Still no one was here. Stanley
See what
needed
happens
the
if we do
bucket's
exactly
warmth
what
and
it wants
comfort
me to.
now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find out. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
I'm glad the bucket's getting inclusion. Oh, hang on. Didn't do this before. But received. Am I meant to fill that bar up? So enough. Make that completely pink.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire, if not for the soothing press. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck.
Oh,
Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
It sure is. Can I play the piano? Can I play the piano anymore? Of course I can't. But I couldn't before. Collectible.
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
I will try my very best.
The elevator
Would have said loading it. It didn't say never the end is never the end anymore.
It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
Me and the bucket get a room. That's technically we're in one.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
It was untold.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold?
Apparently there's a trophy for beating the game in 4 minutes.
Wondered to themselves.
I wonder if that's just following the rules to a T.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly...
There's always guinea pigs and never hamsters.
Stanley cradled it gently.
Or Siberian hamsters, I mean.
That everything would be fine. Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind.
These are the big questions we need to
He
ask.
screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control. Never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At
I wish
this
I had a prop
point,
bucket with
he
me.
could trust no one except...
I've got a Cubone. Cubone's not the same though, is it?
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system.
We need to turn it off, right?
Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness. Was it over? Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away.
It's what the bucket's doing, really.
Excitedly,
I was just here.
the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth. Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end. True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on,
Go on,
to
what's the
trust,
twist?
to support.
No. He stopped.
What? Wait. What was happening? Why had the door stopped? Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed? An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty, until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave. Even the facility itself,
Oh, I can leave.
recognized
Oh, if I just put the bucket down.
calming presence of the bucket, needed the soothing warmth of the bucket, would go to any lengths not to part with the bucket. No, no, no. Stanley can't leave this place. Not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms. Not while this building has anything to say about it.
I want to know what would happen if I just did this right at the beginning of the game without a bucket.
But at least he has the bucket. To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now.
Take a shot every single time the narrator says
about to
bucket.
find out.
Don't you'll die. Oh, it doesn't say loading anymore. Oh, here we go.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
There's got to be something that happens when I fill that up. Right, don't take the bucket. Leave the bucket alone. That bar is one off being filled, so I guess I've got to do one more trip through this.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Go through as normal. Now about the bucket. Let me find them. Oh, the collectibles are here. There will be a reward for finding them all. Large room, lots of boxes, stairs, something to do with stairs, somewhere both red and blue. A private but smelly place with a portman. Okay. I guess I have to go through all the different possibilities to do that.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley
The red and
walked
blue, I mean, going
upstairs
down
to
there.
his boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
You said it was the bucket last time.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Now, can I leave this time? I just wanted to keep the bucket behind. I don't have the bucket anymore. So what happens?
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind
I haven't been
Control
down escape yet.
Facility.
One moves are not taken. Maybe I'll take that this time.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
I suppose once you've played this game before, you can just know exactly which route to take. If it works like that.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility,
These mechanisms are
it was
slow.
too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't
Technically,
it?
aren't you under my
Was it
control?
even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls
There's nothing I can do in this
with
room.
emotions. Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past
Was that
began
there
to
before?
sink in, Stanley decided that this
Hang on.
machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
5, 3. Oh. Hang on a moment. I didn't see buttons here before. There's 5, 3. One, 2. Well, I'll do it in sequence. 1, 2. Where's 4? Three. Sound effects I make are very similar to the ones in Half-Life. Where's 4? I'll not get to 4. There's a button up there, I don't think I can get to it. I have to do that in a very specific way. Now I'll gate it off. This is a code that I don't know. And it ain't 1, 2, 3, 5. Okay. If I do a computer inputs on my next run, will it tell me what the code is?
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Okay. So my first playthrough, I pressed the on button and just waited out the timer. Blew it. Can I leave now? Because you said I couldn't leave because of the bucket.
And a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine. Unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet,
There we go, guys. You can shut down Skynet by just pressing the big off button.
Stanley
It's that simple.
reflected on how many
I don't know why
puzzles
John Connor didn't think of that before.
solved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building
It's going to stop
hold?
again, isn't it?
But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal
was happier
had
with
not
the
been
bucket.
to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing.
Oh no, it's still going.
Stanley stepped through the open door.
It's like the memory zone.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon
I've lost
his
control.
skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. and Stanley was happy.
Good for Stanley. Yay! I did it. All I had to do was do as I was told. But we're back again. Ooh. All the inputs are in. Oh, now what happens? Dun dun dun. Welcome Stanley to heaven. Heaven looks like Polka Dot Man from DC. I've got all the buttons I could possibly want to press. They're changing colour. Do I have to press every single button? Heaven's a bit different to how I envisioned it. I mean, me being a godless heathen, I don't really believe in it, but I didn't expect buttons. You don't seriously expect me to press every single button in this room, do you? I mean, I can't reach the ones up there. What if I do every one in a line? Hold on a minute. Hey, they're coming back on again! Hello? We're stuck here forever.
No way! I can't believe this!
Believe it? I'd say more Knuckles, oh no, would be slightly more fitting. Am I meant to press ones of a particular colour? Well, what do you think heaven's like, chat? Is it like this? Is this how you envision the afterlife? Can I leave?
Excellent!
I guess that's it? Is that actually the end? I have my bucket. I got the trophy saying the end. Begin the game again. Okay. Yeah, nothing seems to be happening. Wait. They're going to take me back again. Oh wait, that moon's different. Okay. This room's different. This room isn't the same. It's changed again. Okay. Right, hang on. There is a trophy. Right, if I quit, there's a trophy that says for quitting and starting again. Do I have to actually back out the game and start again?
All of his co-workers were gone.
That didn't work. Okay. Let's quit. Right, here's what we're going to do. Going to go to my home, close game, and then open it again. It said I get a trophy for doing that. Do I? Is he still going to say this Stanley Parable too? Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, sure, it's 12 o'clock. Is there an Easter egg for putting in a certain time? Wait, what are we doing? The first time you booted up the game, you set the time to 2. Hold on. Set the time to 12:05. That was fantastic. You did a great job with that one. But this time you simply entered 12, the default value. You didn't even try. I have to say, I'm a little disappointed. Perhaps you don't think it's worth taking the time to set the clock correctly. What if I started this exactly at 12? Do you think I would ask you to set the clock if it weren't an integral part of the gameplay experience? I'm not trying to get angry. It's just that a lot of people ignore these gameplay settings altogether. You're not like them, right? Look, next time you boot up the game and see the screen, do me a favour and actually set the time, okay? Good. Okay. Glad we had this talk. Alright, I'll let you get back to the video game then. Okay. I've never been berated for doing the options before. That's new. Oh, I did get a trophy. Welcome back.
All of his co-workers were gone.
I guess it just
What could
repeats
it mean?
now.
Stanley decided
Alright,
to go
no,
to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
There's one thing we haven't done. Figurine Fighters Committee meeting today in the meeting room. There's a meeting in the meeting room. Oh, there's one other option we've not done yet. And that's follow it and go for the escape route. We haven't done
When
that.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I suppose if I was going for completion, I need to find all the trophies. So I'd have to go a very specific way. That'd take too long.
Coming to a staircase,
There should be one down
Stanley
there.
walked upstairs
You'd have to
towards
memorize how
his
to get to
boss's
each
office.
area.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number. 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Let's press the wrong thing. No. No, I'm expecting extra dialogue for typing in the wrong thing.
Stanley, yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing.
Go on, and let's see what happens if we take
Stepped
the
into
escape route.
newly opened passageway.
I think that's the only option I've not taken. I feel like I've done everything else.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized
Maybe I should have took the
he
bucket
felt
with
a
me.
bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
No, we didn't.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Goody, I look forward to that.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Does he now?
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
It's behind the velvet curtain. Actually, just death. Well, we had a good run. And back to start. No. Now what the hell are we?
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and
I was expecting it
closer
to
his
reset.
demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story.
He did
Trapped
warn me.
forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was
Is there a way to escape?
loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly
I duck.
accepted this
I can duck,
violent
right?
end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
And duck. No cushy cushy.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Or not.
And
I
yet,
wonder what game I was
just
playing.
a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same.
Oh, I found the map.
Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Well, I was going to die at some point. It may as well be at the start. Okay. I found the offset store. Button sounds. Selection of sounds used throughout the game when buttons are pressed. Each sound is a mix of a keyboard stroke and a synthesized tone. Very good. I found the credits. I cannot be bothered to read it. Box. Elevator. This is a very strange game. I really like it. Warzone. It's on an ending where Stanley would end up on a battlefield fighting aliens. The action game would become sentient and would wage war against the narrator. We realised shortly after starting to build it was far too joking on the nose for the tone of the game. But some people interpreted it as making fun of people who like shooters, which was not our intention. Fun. Oh, I do like fun. Fun's fun. The game feature. After the second trailer was set out to ask people who emailed the narrator for questions why we'd initially planned to use these further promotional materials, we never found the perfect use for them. Here are a selection of those emails. You stay in shape. Silly Michael the Rock Martin. Sticking around to read all those. Got a lounge. Early version lounge. It's blue now. Apartment timer. 15 minutes. Yeah, we never picked up the phone, did we? Just unplugged it straight away. Never did do that. Office computers. Oh, the booze are quite literally behind booze. Another elevator. Larry Tortoise at a raid! Truly, it's the happy ending we always needed. Hello, Larry. Everyone go shout. Go follow Larry Tortoise. He's a tortoise. He's a legend. Oh yeah. Hello, J-Crack. Welcome in, guys. I think it won't be on for much longer. I appear to have finished the Stanley Parable in every possible way in 3 hours. This game is fantastic. Please play it. This has been a right laugh.
It's the kind of thing you pick up.
Oh, someone's chatting.
You had even the most fundamental understanding of good and bad game design.
Narration outtakes.
But of course,
Kevin Brighting, the voice and narrator, recorded dialogue for the entire game roughly 3 separate times over the 2 years of development. These are clips from early takes that were not used in the final game.
where were the facilities to end this?
Yeah, Frosty, I have that problem every single time I do an afternoon stream. Every single time. There's no one to raid over to. Evening ones, sure, not a problem. Afternoons, it's fuck all. Maybe one person if I'm lucky. I was going to raid Ads Plays Games the other day, only to find out they were ending.
Oh, look at these two.
Everyone go follow Frosty. In fact,
to destroy one another. How they wish
you say
to
Larry
control one
raided us,
another.
and you should totally
How
follow
they
Larry,
both
but
wish to
in
be
reality,
free.
it really is Frosty Mad. Being Larry's dad. Go follow Frosty Mad as well. Turn off the Stanley Parable. I guess this ends the game. Again. Oh.
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another?
You're very welcome.
No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save.
Oh, it's still going.
You can stop the program before they both fail. Turn off your PlayStation. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop.
I literally have to turn off my PlayStation.
True choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you.
sequel is now
Don't
paused.
let
Nope. This game is 42 endings. God damn, it's a lot of endings. Well, we chose death on this occasion. I've already turned my PlayStation off once. The end is never the end, never the end. Damn. How many endings did we go? Have we got a results screen? Player data. Oh, it didn't tell me. Oh, that's a shame. I feel like I've done enough, man. I feel I'll just be repeating content now. But, god damn, this has been a wild ride. I've really enjoyed this game. I feel I've done, quote-unquote, the main endings. I've done what the narrator told me and got the trophy. I've done the DLC as well. It's been a lot of fun. Guys, this game's on PlayStation Plus. You can get it for free. Get it. I've had a blast with it. I've really enjoyed this. In fact, I've enjoyed it so much, I'm going to load this stream to YouTube, where you can watch me just mostly sit in silence and laugh at the narrator. Because it's been great. I've really enjoyed this. But that's going to do it for one afternoon. Thank you very much for watching, everyone.